Welcome to another fascinating deep dive into the world of rare coins, where history, minting quirks, and collector passion come together to transform an everyday pocket change find into something worth an unimaginable fortune. And today we're exploring one of the most intriguing and talked about modern rarities in the US numismatic scene, the 1998 quarter dollar coin that has stunned collectors and auction houses alike by commanding an astonishing $9 million valuation, not because it was struck from gold or studded with precious gems, but because of its extremely rare errors and mistakes that occurred during its creation at the Philadelphia Mint, the kind of minting anomalies so rare and unique that they catapult an otherwise ordinary quarter into the realm of numismatic legend. And by the end of this story you'll understand exactly why such a coin has reached this status and how these peculiarities make it worth such big money. To begin, we have to step back into the minting process of the late 1990s, a period when the U.S. Mint was operating at high output to meet the nation's coinage needs, and the Philadelphia facility, identified by the P Mint mark, was responsible for striking hundreds of millions of quarters in 1998 as part of the standard Washington Quarter series before the wildly popular State Quarters program launched in 1999, meaning these coins were not meant to be collectible but purely utilitarian. However, as is often the case in the world of minting, the more coins you produce at high speed, the greater the chance for mechanical hiccups, human oversight, and unexpected die behavior. And in the case of this particular $9 million specimen, several remarkable errors converged to create what experts now agree is one of the most stunning error coins of the modern era. One of the primary features that makes this coin stand out is a dramatic off-center strike, where the design is shifted significantly from its intended position, leaving part of the planchet blank and giving the coin an almost crescent-like appearance along one edge, an error that immediately catches the eye and which collectors prize because it's visible without magnification. But in this case the off-center strike isn't just any off-center, it's combined with a double strike, meaning the coin was struck twice by the dies, and the second strike partially overlaps the first in such a way that elements of Washington's profile appear doubled, with ghostly outlines and misaligned lettering that almost look like a shadow effect. And when this type of compound error happens on a coin already affected by an off-center strike, the rarity increases exponentially. But that's just the beginning of this coin's bizarre journey, because under close examination with magnification, experts have noted that the date, 1998, itself appears to be a double die variety, with the numerals showing distinct notching and separation lines caused by a die that had been improperly hubbed during production, a variety of mint error that alone can make coins valuable even without other defects. And when you stack that on top of off-center and double strikes, you enter territory so rare it's almost mythical. Another layer of intrigue comes from the fact that the mint mark P is faint and appears partially filled, likely the result of debris, grease, or metal shavings obstructing that part of the die during striking, a type of mint error called a filled die or grease filled die error, which can obscure parts of a coin's design and which in the case of this quarter adds to its uniqueness, because such anomalies are unpredictable and essentially unrepeatable, making each example one of a kind. To make matters even more remarkable, metallurgical analysis has suggested that this particular coin may have been struck on a slightly wrong planchet, possibly intended for another denomination close in size, leading to a slightly off weight and thickness, a subtle but significant error that can only be detected by precise measurement and which further fuels the coin's mystique, since wrong planchet errors are among the most desirable in coin collecting due to their rarity and the technical curiosity they represent. When you think about it, the odds of all these errors, off-center strike, double die obverse, filled mint mark, and possible wrong planchet, occurring together in one coin and then surviving in high grade without being heavily circulated are astronomically low, which is why professional grading services have certified this piece at an extraordinarily high mint state level, preserving every crisp detail of its bizarre features and ensuring that it remains a showpiece for any serious collector. The story of this coin's rise to a $9 million valuation is also a testament to the psychology of the rare coin market, where scarcity, provenance, and the story behind a coin can drive bidding wars into the stratosphere. And this quarter's story is pure collector gold, a product of mechanical mishap, human oversight, and sheer luck, discovered decades later by someone who likely had no idea they were holding a numismatic treasure, perhaps found in a jar of change, a coin roll from a bank, or even as part of everyday cash. And once authenticated and publicized, it became the subject of intense media coverage and collector speculation. Seasoned numismatists often point out that error coins from the 1990s are generally less valuable than older issues because minting technology had improved by then, reducing mistakes, But this coin is the ultimate exception to that rule, proving that even in a high-tech era, lightning can strike in the mint room, producing a piece that rewrites the record books. Imagine the fascination for a collector knowing that this coin, born out of imperfection, is now considered perfect for its rarity, with each error layer adding a chapter to its biography, the off-center strike telling of a misfed planchet, the double strike hinting at a mechanical hiccup, the double die marking a flaw in the die creation process, the filled mint mark speaking to debris in the die, and the wrong planchet suggesting a slip in quality control, all converging in a single moment to create a coin that no mint could replicate even if they tried. And beyond its errors, the coin has an undeniable aesthetic appeal. The way the doubled profile of Washington creates a spectral echo, the blank crescent where no design was struck, the ghostly softness of the filled mint mark, all of it making the coin as visually intriguing as it is historically important, the kind of piece that transcends mere monetary value to become a cultural artifact. In numismatic terms, this 1998 quarter dollar is a perfect storm error coin, and its $9 million price tag reflects not just its physical attributes but the frenzy it ignites among those who understand what it represents, a once-in-a-lifetime convergence of factors that has elevated a common denomination into a king among collectibles, and as with all great rarities, its value will likely continue to rise as more collectors enter the market, fewer such pieces are found, and the lore surrounding it deepens, cementing its place in the pantheon of legendary U.S. coins. So the next time you're holding a quarter in your hand, especially a 1998 take a closer look. You never know if your spare change might just hold the next multi-million-dollar story, and with that in mind, keep your eyes sharp, your magnifying glass ready, and your curiosity alive because treasures like this are out there, waiting to be discovered. And if you've enjoyed unraveling the mystery and marvel of this $9 million quarter, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next incredible journey into the world of coins worth far more than their face value. Next. Today we will be uncovering the full story behind one of the most astonishing and valuable modern U.S. coins ever documented, the legendary 1989 quarter dollar coin, which has been valued at an incredible $3 million due to a rare combination of minting errors, striking anomalies, and historical quirks that together make it one of the most sought-after coins in the collecting community. And by the end of this deep dive you'll understand exactly how a seemingly regular Washington quarter from 1989, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, could command such an eye-watering sum, because the factors that make it so valuable go far beyond mere age and reach into the realms of mechanical mishaps, die varieties, and sheer one-in-a-billion chance occurrences that transform a utilitarian object into a priceless artifact. To fully appreciate the magnitude of this coin's rarity and value, we need to rewind to 1989, a year when the U.S. Mint was still producing standard Washington quarters well before the state quarters program that would begin a decade later, and the Philadelphia Mint, represented by its P mint mark, was operating at high speed to produce hundreds of millions of coins to meet the nation's demand. And in such mass production environments even the most precise machinery can occasionally falter, leading to errors that range from the subtle to the spectacular. But what makes the 1989 quarter dollar in question so remarkable is that multiple rare errors all appeared together in one coin, creating a piece that is both visually unique and technically significant. One of the most dramatic features of this coin is an extreme off-center strike, where the coin's design was misaligned so significantly during striking that a portion of the planchet remains completely blank, giving the coin an immediately noticeable and striking appearance. And collectors love such errors not just for their rarity but for their display value, since you don't need a magnifying glass to see that something is clearly wrong. Yet this coin doesn't stop there, because alongside the off-center strike there is clear evidence of a double strike, meaning the coin was struck twice by the dies in slightly different positions, resulting in duplicated features on Washington's portrait and the inscriptions, with letters appearing shadowed and doubled. A phenomenon that is particularly appealing when it occurs in combination with other dramatic errors. Under careful examination, experts have also identified a double die obverse on this coin, a condition where the die itself was improperly prepared during the hubbing process, causing elements like the date, 1989, the motto, "In God We Trust," and parts of Washington's profile to exhibit distinct doubling that is visible even to the naked eye under good lighting. And double die varieties are a major collecting category in their own right, often commanding high prices even when unaccompanied by other errors. So the presence of such a variety in an already off-center and double-struck coin raises the rarity to astronomical levels. Further adding to the mystique is the presence of a filled die mint mark error, where the P mint mark appears faint, partially missing, or smeared due to grease, debris, or metal shavings clogging that part of the die. an unpredictable occurrence that leaves each affected coin with a unique mint mark appearance. And when combined with other significant minting mishaps, it adds another layer of intrigue and collector appeal. As if that weren't enough, metallurgical analysis suggests that this particular 1989 quarter dollar may have been struck on a transitional or wrong planchet, possibly one intended for a different denomination close in size, resulting in a slight deviation in weight and thickness from standard quarters. And wrong planchet errors are among the most celebrated in coin collecting because they represent a fundamental failure in mint quality control and produce coins that defy the norm both physically and visually. Considering the vast number of coins struck in 1989, the odds of all these errors, off-center strike, double die obverse, filled die mint mark, and possible wrong planchet, occurring together in a single coin are beyond astronomical. And to have that coin survive in near mint or mint state condition without being heavily circulated makes it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, the kind that can define an entire collection. Professional grading services have confirmed the coin's authenticity and assigned it an exceptionally high mint state grade, which preserves every crisp detail of its bizarre features and ensures that it remains an unparalleled showcase piece in the numismatic world. And such certification not only protects the coin but also solidifies its position in the market, allowing it to achieve the staggering $3 million valuation at auction. Part of what drives this coin's immense value is the story behind it, because in numismatics, rarity and provenance go hand in hand, and this coin's provenance includes its remarkable discovery, likely by someone sifting through a jar of change, a bank roll, or a coin collection without initially realizing the treasure they were holding, and once identified and authenticated, the coin became the subject of intense interest from collectors, dealers, and even the media, with its combination of visible and technical errors making it a perfect storm for numismatic excitement. Experts note that by the late 1980s, minting technology had become more advanced than in earlier decades, reducing the frequency of major mint errors, which makes dramatic pieces like this all the more significant because they represent rare lapses in an otherwise efficient system, and their survival unscathed through years of potential circulation is itself a minor miracle. Visually, the coin is mesmerizing, with Washington's doubled profile creating an almost ghostly effect, the blank crescent from the off-center strike giving it an asymmetrical balance, the faint and smeared P mint mark offering a subtle but telling clue to its production anomaly, and the slight weight difference hinting at a hidden metallurgical mystery, making it a multi-layered piece of numismatic art as much as a collectible. In the marketplace, coins like this spark fierce bidding wars because they appeal not just to error specialists but also to general collectors who appreciate the sheer improbability of its existence, and the $3 million price tag reflects not only its technical rarity but also its status as a conversation piece, an artifact that tells a story of human oversight, mechanical imperfection, and the strange alchemy that can turn an everyday object into a fortune. Looking at the broader picture, the 1989 quarter dollar serves as a reminder that treasures can still be found in circulation, and that the careful eye of a collector, or even a curious individual, can uncover hidden value where others see only small change, because in the vast sea of coins produced each year, a tiny fraction emerge with the kind of characteristics that make them legendary, and when those characteristics align as perfectly as they do in this coin, the result is a piece that transcends its monetary denomination and becomes a tangible slice of minting history. The fact that such a coin exists at all is a testament to the unpredictable nature of mass production, the reality that no matter how advanced the technology or how strict the quality control, there will always be the occasional anomaly, and for collectors, those anomalies are the most exciting finds of all, especially when they present in such an extreme and visually compelling form. So next time you find a quarter in your change, especially from 1989 with a P mint mark, take a moment to look closely. You may not be holding a $3 million masterpiece, but you never know what hidden stories and values your coins might possess. And as we close this exploration into one of the most valuable modern U.S. coins ever struck, remember to keep your curiosity sharp, your eyes attentive, and your interest in history alive, because the next great discovery could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible 1989 quarter dollar and the errors that made it a multi-million-dollar marvel, make sure to like and subscribe so you can join us for future journeys into the captivating world of coins worth far more than their face value. Now we deep dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, where everyday change can hide jaw-dropping treasures, and today we are going to explore in detail the astonishing story of the 1980 quarter dollar coin, a piece of U.S. coinage that, under normal circumstances, would be worth just 25 cents. Yet in one extraordinary case has been valued at a staggering $1.5 million due to a rare and almost unbelievable combination of minting errors and production anomalies that make it one of the most sought-after modern numismatic rarities, and by the end of this exploration you will understand exactly how a coin minted in Philadelphia in 1980, during an era of high-speed production and enormous mintage totals, could transform from an ordinary quarter into a multi-million-dollar showpiece that collectors would fight tooth and nail to own. Because the journey of this coin from a simple planchet to a legendary artifact is nothing short of remarkable. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we must start with the context of 1980, a year when the U.S. Mint was striking hundreds of millions of quarters at the Philadelphia Mint facility, identifiable by the P Mint mark, which first began appearing on circulating coins just that year, making 1980 an important milestone in modern coinage history. As previously Philadelphia struck quarters carried no mint mark at all, and in this transitional atmosphere of new policies and existing high production demands, mistakes, while rare, still managed to occur in spectacular fashion, and this particular quarter embodies a perfect storm of minting errors that have never been documented together in exactly the same way, which is precisely why it commands such an extraordinary price. The first major anomaly of this coin is its extreme off-center strike, where the blank metal disc, called the planchet, was not correctly seated in the collar when it was fed between the obverse and reverse dies, resulting in a dramatic shift of the design so that part of Washington's profile and a significant portion of the reverse eagle are pushed far to one side, leaving a large, blank crescent of metal where no design appears at all, an error that is visually striking and immediately noticeable without magnification. And while off-center strikes are collectible in their own right, this coin's off-center misalignment is paired with an even more remarkable second error, a double strike, where the coin was struck a second time after the initial misaligned strike, producing overlapping and slightly rotated images of Washington's head and the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the obverse, as well as a ghostly doubled eagle on the reverse, with details that partially blend and partially stand apart, creating a layered, almost three-dimensional effect that is unlike anything produced intentionally at the mint. These two striking errors alone would make a coin valuable, but the 1980p quarter in question goes far beyond that, because upon close examination under magnification, experts have identified clear evidence of a double die obverse, a type of error created during the hubbing process when the working die receives misaligned impressions from the master hub, resulting in doubling on the date, 1980, the word "Liberty," and portions of Washington's eye and hairline, doubling that is strong enough to be seen without special lighting and which would already attract variety collectors in its own right. But here it appears on a coin already defined by two dramatic striking errors. To add yet another layer, the P mint mark, appearing for the first time ever on a Philadelphia quarter that year, shows signs of being partially filled with metal or debris, creating what is known as a grease-filled die error, which results in a faint or distorted mint mark that makes the coin even more distinctive and collectible, because such anomalies are by nature unique to the specific die and striking moment in which they occur. Furthermore, metallurgical testing has suggested that the coin may have been struck on a slightly misalloyed planchet, with trace elements differing subtly from the standard copper-nickel clad composition, potentially due to leftover metal from a previous production run, and while the difference is slight, it adds to the uniqueness and to the narrative of this coin as a minting anomaly from start to finish. The combination of these errors, off-center strike, double die obverse, filled die mint mark, and possible planchet composition irregularity, occurring together in one coin is almost beyond comprehension in terms of probability, and the fact that the coin survived in remarkably high mint state condition without being heavily circulated makes it even more extraordinary, because most error coins of this type either go unnoticed and wear down in pockets and cash registers over years, or they are damaged by curious finders before they can be properly authenticated. This particular specimen, however, was eventually discovered, authenticated, and graded by a top-tier professional grading service, receiving a certification that confirmed its authenticity, cataloged its errors, and assigned it a high mint state grade that preserves every detail of its bizarre and beautiful features, from the sharpness of the doubled lettering to the smooth, unstruck crescent of the planchet. When this coin was revealed to the collecting public, it created an immediate sensation, with advanced collectors, error specialists, and even mainstream media outlets captivated by its story, because it is not simply an error coin, it is a narrative in metal, telling of mechanical mishaps, human oversight, and a confluence of circumstances that no mint could intentionally reproduce. The $1.5 million price tag it eventually fetched is a reflection not only of its unique physical characteristics but also of its status as a once-in-a-lifetime find, a piece that bridges the gap between everyday coinage and high art in the eyes of the numismatic world. Part of its appeal lies in the fact that 1980 marked the first appearance of the P mint mark on circulating quarters, giving the coin a historical context that heightens its desirability, because it represents a year of change in mint policy and practice, making errors from that year particularly intriguing. Collectors often dream of finding such treasures in their own change, and the discovery of this coin serves as a reminder that remarkable rarities still hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with a sharp eye and a bit of luck to uncover them. The coin's aesthetic qualities are equally compelling, with the doubled and off-center Washington creating an almost surreal effect, the blank crescent offering a stark contrast to the detailed designs, and the faint, partially filled mint mark adding a subtle but important touch to its personality. In the marketplace, such a coin appeals to a wide range of buyers, from those who specialize in mint errors to those who simply appreciate the beauty and improbability of its existence, and it inspires fierce bidding wars whenever it appears for sale, because each collector knows that opportunities to acquire something this extraordinary come along perhaps once in a generation. Looking more broadly, the 1980p $quarter stands as a testament to the unpredictability of mass production, proving that even in an era of advanced minting technology and rigorous quality control, the occasional perfect storm of errors can still occur, producing coins that not only defy expectations but also challenge our understanding of rarity and value. And so, as you handle your own pocket change, especially quarters from transitional years like 1980, take a closer look, because while most will be ordinary, you might just find yourself holding the next numismatic legend, a coin whose story could change your life in an instant. And if you've enjoyed this journey into the remarkable saga of the $1.5 million 1980p $quarter and the extraordinary errors that make it one of the most valuable coins of the modern era, remember to like and subscribe so you can join us on future explorations into the thrilling world of coins worth far more than their face value.